Hello guys, and welcome back to this new video. So today we are going to talk about thugs. Even though this is a known term in the culture, specifically in the hip-hop culture, and one of my mates ever, Tupac Shakur, had tattooed Thug Life on his hips. I have to say that in this video we're not going to talk about that declination of thugs that we know, or that we are more or less familiar with in English American, but we are going to talk about a new different meaning of thugs, which is not really new. It's more about the etymology itself of the word, meaning how and what indicated this word a while back. So we're talking about 13th century. Actually, we are talking about a period of time that goes from the 13th to the 19th century, where you had thugs in India. Now, thugs initially known with a different term, a slightly different terms, at least when it comes to pronunciation and spelling, right? But they were defined like that because they were devotees of the goddess Kali. Now, Kali in Hinduism is, in very general terms, the goddess of destruction, and so their main task was to rebalance the world, right, by killing people. Specifically, they were a group, and a group with strategy, because the strategy was to gain the trust of travelers all across India, familiarize themselves, gain that sort of trust, walk with them, travel with them, and then at a certain point, you know, they would kill a specific target. That was not a particular reason of why they would kill a certain individual rather than another, but the idea was to just kill people, random people that were chosen, targeted, befriended, and then killed. Now, the way they would kill this is without blood. So they would use a method that is strangulation, and they would use a strip of whatever fabric, right, and they would strangle the guy. Now, with strategy, because not only the strategy was in general terms to befriend them, but there were some people within the group of thugs that were dedicated, devoted, they had the mission of befriending that person. Other people that had the task of immobilizing that person, other people that would actually go ahead and commit the murder, and other people that after that would rob the traveler of his goods. Now, that was the mechanism deployed. The reason religious, to sacrifice that person's life to the goddess Kali. Women were not touched because women were the reincarnation of the goddess, so women were absolutely untouchable. Kids, they were also not touched because the kid that was the son of the traveler that they killed, he would become part of the thugs themselves. So they would train him to become another thug. And so that was the mechanism. And then you would become a thug because of your parents, so basically because of your dad was a thug, or again because your dad was killed, and therefore they would force you, or they would raise you so that you could join the group of thugs. So women were not touched, kids were not touched, sick people were also not touched. That was considered not a decent act, and something that overall wasn't worth it. And then also Brahmins were not touched. and the reason was that an enlightened being is an enlightened being, right? So you can't really touch that person, you can't interfere with their spiritual progress and with their spiritual enlightenment, right? So that was to be avoided. The rest though, so male, they were kind of strong or like in their best age, they could be easily the target. And then, as we said, they were deprived of their goods because the thugs would take them. Now, there were different groups of thugs. I don't think that one group was very numerous. I think that it was composed by less than probably a dozen people. And there were different groups all across India. Different groups that would recognize themselves because of symbols, and because of a particular slang called Ramasi that they would speak to recognize themselves, right? They recognized that they were part of the same association, if we want to call it like that. Now, thugs were definitely decimated with 2 decrees, but this was majorly the work of Sir Bentinck. When the English invaded and colonized India, then Sir Bentinck thought that this was a phenomenon that required to put a stop to. And so he went ahead, befriended the thugs that were remorseful, that showed some remorse, and from that point on, basically he went on and liberated, decimated the thugs. They were imprisoned or transported, and I believe that they were transported to England, and then from that we get the name of thugs. And so that is a phenomenon that was ended around the 19th century. Nowadays we have completely lost that original connotation, and that term came to designate African American people when we want to make a denigratory comment. Not only African American, but mostly they have been targeted. And so it has a different connotation. And overall, thugs have killed around 2 million, though in actuality that number has to be checked because we don't really know when that started. Allegedly in the 13th century, but it might have started a while before. So guys, that was all I had for today. So if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment below, and hit the notification bell to receive every new update, and don't forget to let us know what you guys think. With that being said, we'll talk next time. Bye!